welcome to this week's golf betting preview of the Wyndham Championship. Fresh off our first victory since launching the video previews, as Collin Morikawa produced a brilliant performance to win the PGA Championship, and we were on at 35 to 1, so hopefully plenty of you returned with profits from an excellent major championship. It's back to the PGA Tour this week, and it's the final event before the playoff series starts, as the Wyndham Championship hosts this week's tournament at Sedgefield Country Club. Straight to the betting. Webb Simpson is my headline selection, and the favourite looks the man to beat at 10 to 1. Webb Simpson didn't really get going last week at Harding Park, but this is much more his type of terrain. He has a phenomenal record here. His first PGA Tour win came back in 2011, and he absolutely adores the track. His record in the last 3 years here reads 2 second places and a third place finish. He's just completely at home at this Carolina track, and you'd expect him to go very close this year, especially in his current form. He's well in there in the top 10 of the world rankings, and he has 2 wins in the bank already this season. Webb Simpson is always the man to beat at the Wyndham Championship. This week is no different. Next best, and Siwoo Kim at 40 to 1. Kim comes in off a extremely impressive showing at Harding Park when he finished in 13th place. Really strong form on a difficult course in California. And Kim's first PGA Tour title also came here back in 2016 when he shot 21 under par for the victory. He was also 5th last year at the track, despite coming into the week of 5 successive missed cuts, where he returns in much better shape this year after a run of cuts made since the restart, and his work with Claude Harmon is really starting to pay off. I can see Kim going very close to claiming a 3rd PGA Tour title this weekend. My third selection this week is Sungjae Im at 35 to 1. Now, Im is a serious talent, as he showed earlier this year when claiming his first PGA Tour title at the Honda Classic, which is another course featuring Bermuda grass greens. He putts really well on these greens, as he showed on his debut last year here. A really impressive showing at Sedgefield Country Club, the par 70. He came in off a missed cut at the Open Championship where he shot 80 in his second round, but he completely wiped this out as he opened up with 62 on his first side of the course, and Im finished in a tie for 6th place. Now that he's a winner back on tour, I'd strongly expect Im to threaten a 2nd PGA Tour title at Sporting Odds this week. There's room for a couple of outsiders this week as well though, and I'm sticking with Charles Schwartzel at 90 to 1. Now, Schwartzel was tipped up last week for the PGA Championship, and he never really got going, although he did make the cut but never managed to contend at all during the week. But the South African should be supported once more this week at a decent price. Now, his last visit to Sedgefield brought a 3rd place finish back in 2015. His only other start at the event was 14th, so that's really strong course form that he brings to the table. He's hovering around the cut line of 125th place for the playoffs, so he needs a decent week to get into the playoffs starting next week. I think he can have it. It's worth remembering he also tied for 3rd place at the 3 Open just 2 starts ago, so this will be fresh in his memory. I can see Schwartzel picking up again where he left off and going low at a course where only birdies will suffice this week. My final selection is Ryan Armour at 150 to 1. Now, this outsider certainly shouldn't be discounted based on some recent form. Earlier this summer he was 4th at the Rocket Mortgage Classic, and he also finished 6th at the Travelers Championship. This form is only a month or 6 weeks old, and Armour, the experienced American, returns to a course that has been very kind to him over the years. He's a strong Bermuda grass putter, and he finished 4th at Sedgefield back in 2017, 8th 1 year later, and a solid 22nd last season. That mix of recent form plus his excellent course record in Carolina bodes well for this week for the outsider, who certainly shouldn't be discounted. A quick recap on those selections then, and it's this week's favourite Webb Simpson, who is the main bet at 10-1, followed by Siwoo Kim at 40-1 each way, Sung Jae Im 35-1, going in again with Charles Schwartzel at 90s, and finally the outsider this week is Ryan Armour at 150-1. Best of luck with your bets this week. Let's hope we can return profits again as we go for a second winner in a row. Don't forget to subscribe to the video content if you enjoyed it, and let's go hunting for more profits this week. Best of luck, enjoy the golf.